Now, there are those who believe that Eve wasn't the first woman that God created for Adam. So they believe that there was a Lilith before Eve. And that was the one that was created for Adam. But because she was hot-headed, God had to chase her out of the garden, right? And she was roaming outside the perimeters of the Garden of Eden, and she had a relationship with Lucifer, and they had demon children. And that's a fairy tale concept. If that should be correct, even though it's a far-fetched idea, you see that if there was a Lilith and then there was an Eve, the whole concept of soulmates coming from the beginning of time becomes questionable. This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
Welcome to the Besty and Smoke podcast, the BS podcast. And we are happy to be here today. Hopefully, you are also excited to hang with us today on the platform. Before we get to the whole nitty-gritty of what we intend to talk about today, let me introduce to you my co-host, who happens to be my wife as well. My name is Smoke, and this is
the B
in the BS.
Yes,
Bestie.
My name is Bestie, of course. Welcome to the Bestie and Smoke podcast. And if this is your first time listening or watching us, please endeavor to subscribe on YouTube channel or follow on Facebook as well as Instagram and Twitter. And today on Bestie and Smoke podcast, we have quite something to discuss. But before we get to that, I'd like to say that you look better today than you were looking the last podcast.
Yeah, I feel better as well.
So simply put, my energy is rubbing off on you.
Well, I don't have any quarrel with that.
Come on, seriously, give it
that.
to me now.
Okay. You can have it.
Chineke, now is that how you're giving it to me? Say, your vibrant energy, your positive energy has rubbed off on me.
Your vibrant energy, your positive energy has rubbed off on me. How do you love that?
Okay, now you're being sarcastic.
I'm not.
I mean, come on. Okay, I have made a conscious decision to be the positive one. Surround myself with positive thinking. Not that things are not going, here and there the way I wouldn't want them to go, but I'm choosing to see light at the end of the dark tunnel. And I believed that kind of, was in a way. So that's why I wanted you to give me the compliment.
So you are channeling.
Of course I was channeling.
Like a witch.
Yes. Like the good kind.
The good witch.
The good witch. That's it. And I'm doing good at it.
Hope you don't put a hex on me.
I mean, come on, you already have hex. But the good kind, which, yes, we're in it together.
That reminds me of one of those movies where a witch turns a man's head only to realize. You just said that you had a hex on me.
No, wait. Do you think someone like you could be put under a spell or whatever?
And
if you were put under a spell, that means you would have done so many things. I just snapped my finger. You know what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't ever get angry at you.
Don't let me get my way, yes?
Right?
The hex is not going my way.
You probably recited
the wrong spell.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't put the right spices, the right herbs.
Oh, okay. You're giving me ideas.
Yeah. Put nchao.
Like all that.
And ogiri. Mix all of that up right in there. And, some sliced yam, freshly boiled yam.
I don't think I need that to have you, honey.
They say that the shortest route to a man's heart
is through his
tummy. Yeah.
Are you saying
so the spell should be right through my tummy?
Am I not getting right through your tummy?
Just to put it out there, right? That vegetable soup last night.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Do you know why the vegetable soup had to come around? Because you lied. You lied. I was trying to.
If it were you right now, you try to stop me. I said, stop.
This guy denied. He said that he has never eaten vegetable soup in this house.
Because I can't remember stuff.
Isn't me to say that you
I get coconut head.
No.
Day
that
inside.
was not coconut head. That was you intentionally trying to get me to do something.
No.
But instead of you to say
honestly, I couldn't remember. But I do remember this one. I do, because it has so many. so many crazy events around it, like, argument and fight.
I had to make sure because you cannot tell me
this
that
is
you've not
indelibly etched on my brain.
Yes,
right now.
let it be. Story.
You see why?
End of story.
On the second episode, I think it was the second episode that you accused me of never paying you compliments. Now I just did. And what happened?
No,
that's to a huge argument.
I was discussing what actually got to me making the vegetable soup again, which I said I wasn't going to because you said you couldn't remember the previous ones I made, which kind of hurt my feelings. So that's it. But I'm glad. Na kita ilute.
So how are you doing today?
Oh, well, I'm good. I'm always, I'm always here and there. But today, I'm okay.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS. So on today's edition of episode, actually, because this is the 5th episode of Besty and Smoke podcast, we have something that I am quite interested to talking about. I'm quite interested in talking about this because I feel like when this topic was brought up, we already have different stands. So the question being, do soulmates exist?
Okay. The whole idea of soulmates has been around for a really long time. And simply put, a soulmate is that one person you share an uncommon connection with. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a relationship. People tend to think that your soulmate only happens, or you happen across your soulmate only
in a romantic relationship.
A romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. I was reading an article when I come across a story where someone was talking about her girlfriend. She's a girl. She was talking about her best friend being her soulmate. And it was a platonic relationship, nothing
romantic.
Woozy about it. So that got me thinking that, once you share a special
connection,
uncommon connection with someone, and you people are each other's ride or die, you might say that this is my soulmate, that the mate of my soul, a special someone to me. But let's not disregard the fact that the whole idea of soulmates is 99% a romantic concept, where a man finds that woman. In the back of my mind, when I was saying a man, I realized that in today's world, men actually believe that they find other men as their soulmate, and in a romantic relationship, and women also do the same. But within the cultural structure that we live in, so I'm going to stick to a man
and a woman.
So when a man finds that special someone that he feels he cannot do without, like they are made for each other, there's something special, something unbreakable.
They complete you.
Yeah, they complete you. They make you complete. You might say that this is the idea of a soulmate. Now, this concept was started by Plato, a Greek philosopher, when he came up with the idea that human beings had 4 arms, 4 hands, and 4 legs. But because of the pride of humanity, the king of the gods, that's Zeus, who in Greek mythology was the almighty god. Yeah. So he decided to punish humanity by splitting people into 2. The one half has 2 legs and 2 hands and 1 face, because actually
there were 2 faces.
2 faces. Okay.
2 heads.
And the other one, the other half, will go with the 2 remaining legs, the 2 remaining hands, and the other 1 face.
Kind of create a thought of a doppelganger.
Something like that. And a human being will have to suffer the punishment of having to roam the earth trying to find
the rest of the soul.
Half, the mate of your soul. That when you join, like Siamese twins, you become complete and one. So that was Plato's argument, a concept that he created. Okay. And a lot of people disputed it, but it found its way into popular culture. And it's been propagated as reality till this day. and people now buy into it, especially when they see movies showing the Rose and Jack story in the Titanic here, and such similar
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. Thank you very much. That's a classic. So I guess Shakespeare tapped into this whole soulmate idea and portrayed it where the man and the woman coming from families that were in enmity, that would kill one another because of the feud they had. But these two, because of the love they developed for each other, and they realized
they
that
couldn't be together. They had to die together.
Had to die together because the families did not allow for
their love to
So they died rather than live apart
each other.
So that's a quintessential portrayal of the soulmate idea, right? So in today's world, quite a number of people believe that there is someone made for them, that they need
the universe
to
had
find.
them in mind.
The universe had them in mind when they were creating this individual. And I think you can even call that idea the same concept that made Zeus to split humanity into two, because when you feel like the universe had you in mind, or God had you in mind when he was molding,
that means you're proud.
Yeah, you're proud. You think so much of yourself.
Okay.
Out of the 8 billion people in the world, when a new individual was being created, they singled you out to make a special someone for you. So it makes the idea of a soulmate, or the whole concept of soulmates, ridiculous. But regardless, people still believe in
that.
Because it's a romantic culture, a romantic concept. It makes you feel good
about yourself,
about
love, about
and when you find
misery,
and when you find
the concept of Adam and Eve,
excuse me, even that as well. When you feel like you are in a relationship and you feel extremely good about it, you ascribe it to having found your soulmate. And what that does is it reconfirms, or it validates the relationship for you, and it urges you to fight for it,
the relationship,
because this is my soulmate relationship, my destiny.
Are we destined to be together?
We are destined to be together.
Am I your soulmate?
Well, you can say that, and then again, you may not say that.
Why are you neither here nor there?
Because I do not 100% believe in the idea of a soulmate or soulmates. Do you believe in soulmates?
I feel like I'm a romantic.
Yeah.
I'm a romantic, like
all of those.
I love romance.
Eduardo series.
I don't care if Eduardo. I love romance. I love the happy ending.
They did a number on you.
I love the I love the wow. This is make me cry kind of romance. I love it. But soulmate, seriously, I was thinking about when you said the universe having someone in mind to actually create someone.
Yeah.
And the idea that the billions of people in the world, the universe actually molded one person for you.
Yeah.
So you have to go around like finding that person, and the person will complete you. And if the person is not where you are, and they're maybe at the end of the world, and there is no possibility, or there are no possibilities of you actually coming across.
There's no spare.
No way.
No spare soulmate. Has to be just that one.
Yeah, just that person. It's why would the universe punish you? And the idea is that if you end up with someone else that's not your soulmate, you not have a happy life. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the idea that is what the universe wants for you or as a person. And also,
but you said something about the Adam and Eve story.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yes, it's like the first man and the first woman, and they later, procreated, and told them.
Let me jump in real quickly.
Okay.
Just
and then jump out.
Yeah, I will. Now, there's a part of the Adam and Eve story that not a lot of people know about. Okay, I say a part. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a correct concept within the body of the story. Now, there are those who believe that Eve wasn't the first woman that God created for Adam.
It was Lilith.
So they believe that there was a Lilith before Eve. And that was the one that was created for Adam. But because she was
she was not subordinate.
Yeah, she wasn't submissive.
Submissive.
And God had to chase her out of the garden, right? And she was roaming outside the perimeters of the Garden of Eden, and she had a relationship with Lucifer, and they had demon children. And that's a fairy tale concept. Okay? All right, I just wanted to point that out.
Way, that's not what...
That doesn't appear in the Bible. Now, if you look at that, if that should be correct, even though it's a far-fetched idea, you see that if there was a Lilith and then there was an Eve, the whole concept of soulmates coming from the beginning of time becomes questionable.
Well, you're the one. I mean, it's also you saying that, people are made for it. But for me, I'm saying that there's no soulmate.
No, my idea of soulmates, right?
Yeah, okay.
Is that you do not have a single soulmate that you have to find. There's a split side,
you promise to
second side to you.
Out of this.
Okay, I'm jumping right out.
Please. Because you're standing here and you're standing there.
I'm not.
So it's kind of confusing me. It's doing so many things to my brain.
I'm an intellectual. I reason and I cover.
I do believe that the concept of a soulmate, that believing that someone, no matter whatever the circumstances, you guys are destined to be together. This person is your person.
Yeah.
Beats the idea of the conscious effort one puts in a relationship to actually make it work. The commitment, the work.
But then,
the work you put in. I mean, you might like so many people. You might like so many people.
Yeah.
You might meet so many people, but there's a particular person now you now work
better
with because it's a conscious effort. And because if you tell me that when you decide to let romanticize everything, it's no matter whatever happens, this person is your person. You don't put in work, you don't do anything. The relationship is not going to last. You're not going to come to, for instance,
that's another side to that argument. Wait, hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
There's a flip side to that argument.
What's that?
When you believe that your partner or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever you are having a relationship with is your soulmate, and it takes away the work that you have to put in because you believe it's destined to happen. I don't think it's entirely a valid argument, because
how is it not a valid argument?
When you feel like something came from God, that you were placed in this place, this space by the universe or by God or whatever great being, supernatural being that you believe in, that will make you strive to protect it, to make you work harder, to cherish it, because you were placed in here for a purpose. So you were placed in here in this person's life for a purpose, and the person was also placed in your life for a purpose. So it makes you want to hold on.
You were not just created. Now, what of people who end up being priests, or you don't have a companion, you don't have you end up not committing to anyone. You end up not finding that kind of love with anyone. What does that tell you? Because they have chosen to not channel that kind of love towards anyone. That's why I say that. Now, when they have chosen to channel
celibacy, right? Doesn't preclude
soulmate. Yes, I know.
Falling in love.
Yes, I know. You may fall in love with someone, but chose to live a celibate life. Okay, where no intimacy and everything, sexual intimacy. So, but I still believe that when you believe solely that someone is destined for you, and you don't see that you actually have to be conscious with it, intentional with it.
Yeah.
They are your soulmate. Or you might meet someone, or you might feel butterflies in your tummy, which, yes, these are all good. But telling me that the universe made this person for you, I disagree. I disagree.
Listen to what I believe.
I was entertaining. I not entertaining. I would actually be convinced in some here and there based on how we met. that soulmate or maybe the universe actually or God plays a role in helping you find the one by putting them in the right place. Because if you were where you were and I am here, I don't know if we'd ever cross paths the way we did.
Now, who's being all over the argument?
I'm not being all over the argument. I'm saying I could see where it's actually, like I said, I'm taking some points you've made and say, okay, I see it. But I'm not arguing for the sake of arguing.
I'm not saying. I'm
based
not.
On
remember,
my belief, based on
I'm
how
not saying. I did not say that I believe in soulmates. I never said that.
Oh, because that.
What I believe is that you do not have one soulmate made for you.
Okay,
that one.
Okay, you don't believe that you have a soulmate, but soulmates.
Yeah, you have soulmates. Several people, and what that translates to is that people have types.
Mm-hmm.
You have your type. When you meet your type, okay, your predispositions, everything about you gels with this type. Okay. And you guys will make a great partnership.
Hold on. With that, when you meet this person.
You're going to ask me about our relationship now, aren't you?
Yes, I am going to. I am sorry, Smoke, but I'm going to. Because when I met you, Lord knows I hated your butt.
Okay.
Not like hate is a strong word, disliked, because Lord have mercy.
The game was too much for you.
Not the game was too much. It was just, I realized that was actually you. That was who you are, where there was no arrogance or, you trying to act, or you weren't even acting appear like you were better than everyone in the room. But that was just you, your composure. That's you. That's your personality. Till I got to realize that. At the beginning, I didn't feel that connection. I didn't feel like there was a spark was there a spark?
Just to buttress on the point you were making, okay, I have always had people hate on me for no reason. So
I was also one of the people.
Yeah, you were just a statistic.
Don't make me a statistic.
In a line
do not make me a statistic. Do not make me a statistic. It was based on our first conversation, interaction, first impression.
Okay.
I didn't feel like you were someone made for me. I didn't feel like...
You don't go about meeting people and thinking automatically that they are made for you.
Right now, I believe you are my person. But at the initial stage, I never felt that way with you. I never felt like that with you. There were stages to our relationship. The friendship stage, the romantic stage, and the stage that's being married to you. Okay. So it took time to get here. So that's what I'm saying. But if I had, from the beginning, believed you were my soulmate, who were destined to be, all the work we put in, all the storm we weathered.
Now, let me tell you.
What are you going to contribute?
Let me tell you
call
something.
that.
Let me tell you something. Like I said, I believe in soulmates, and then I don't. There was a time I'm a spiritual being.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I may not look it. Okay, but I come from a spiritual background, connected.
This is
maybe not religious.
This is not trying to prove anything to anyone or anything, or just, but you have people who are religious and you have people who are spiritual, like having that close relationship with God. And it answered the question where your principle was coming from. It kind of solidified. It answered some of the questions, like the question of because when you see someone feeling a certain way about themselves.
Hi.
It is well. Just give you one tickle.
The big masquerade that day, drum is hailing.
Mm-hmm. So are you, in this case, you're the drum?
No. In this case, I'm the big masquerade and you're the drum.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
So this might not make sense to some people, especially to a woke generation, but I asked God for a sign over our relationship. And he did send me a sign.
Elaborate.
I can't remember the particulars of it. Okay, because it's been a long time. But after asking for that sign, I had a dream in the night. And in that dream, I received my sign. Now, it's ridiculous that I can't really remember the dream, the details of the dream, but I woke up and I knew.
So what was the sign, you were asking God for? Is it if this relationship, why did you even ask God? Because for you to ask God to give you a sign, it must mean that you feel like you need direction, or you need, help making
A decision.
a decision. So
Yeah.
what was it about? Was it that you needed to know if this is going to be what you'd want it to be, or what? I don't know.
Like I said, I'm a spiritual person.
Yes,
okay.
but
So I tend to commit most of the major decisions I make in my life
into His heavenly hands,
to prayers, and try to get some kind of guidance. Okay. And that happened. Now, this whole spirituality or spiritual thing, it wasn't something I assumed. It was something that kept happening back when I was younger. And I realized like that, just like Joseph the dreamer, I had the gift. Over the years, I think I've become watered down. Okay. Diluted, as a matter of fact. But that was a time when I was connected to the higher realms of our reality. And that happened to be the time when this event occurred. And I realized that this is the answer to the question I was asking.
So what question were you asking God?
I just told you.
No, I wanted to know, is it that the relationship, because you said you asked God for a sign. I didn't ask what was the sign about, but I was like, what did it resort to?
It resulted in me knowing that you are someone I have to stick with. And it might sound soulmate-like, but it helped me. It provided guidance for me. Now, I do not believe in soulmates the typical way that people do. And this is not me trying to sell the idea of soulmates to anyone that, look, I had a dream and it was revealed to me that you were my soulmate. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's my particular experience.
Okay, let's say I had.
It takes the romance out of
it doesn't
thing,
really.
right?
No, it doesn't really take. No, it doesn't take the romance out of it, because of course, from your perspective, when someone is made for you and you're drawn to each other, and your dream as well, the sign you say you got, there must be doubt somewhere for you to actually require a sign to solidify it.
It wasn't really a question of whether there was doubt or not. You may be woke, you may be an atheist, and you do not believe in these things, and that's all right. But all of my life, I've had deja vu moments happen to me because of dreams I had. Okay. That I recognize during my waking hours. You dream about something, then later on, you probably forgot about the dream, and then something happens and it clicks like,
deja vu. Okay, this is actually
deja vu moment.
It's something experienced before.
So because of that, I became more attuned. The spiritual, became aware. Interestingly, there was no way for me to distinguish between a serious dream and just any kind of dream. But let's not get too deeply into that. So during the relationship, I tried to tap into that. Okay. To find guidance. Okay. Okay. I have a really crazy memory.
Yes, you do.
And sometimes I've had to write my dreams down to remember, but I had not started doing that at the time. Okay. Now, it may not be a very romantic notion.
No, I'm not trying to doubt the romantic, and I just wanted, because for you to have asked for a sign, you did not believe.
Let me put that question to bed. Okay. When I got here, I never thought I would stay this long. Okay. It wasn't my kind of place. I did everything. I was looking for opportunities outside of this location. Oh. But every time something was about to happen, something would stop it. Yeah, kind of get in the way.
A jinx
it. Now, this may sound like predeterminism or predestination or whatever, all of that. I do not buy any of those. I don't believe too much in destiny, okay? I believe we craft our own path. But every single time I wanted to do something, to leave,
something keeps pulling you back.
Something kept pulling me back, like, the Chingy song. And then I realized that, you know what, I should embrace this and ride it out. And then after we got married, it was as though the door to the jail
was opened.
Now I could not leave. It was a choice to not leave.
So you already committed.
It was ironical because at that time, I did not want to leave anymore.
So it was like the universe actually made no room for you to leave
until I had realized
committed.
That this is the
you have
path
realized
to take. Yeah,
you have realized.
I know this is not the story you want to hear.
No, it's not about the story I want to hear. I'm trying to, because this sounds like news to me. Because we were friends, then we dated, then we got married. I knew you were making moves to actually live here because you were not a settle here kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I never felt like that was going to affect our relationship per se. That we're going to break up. I never felt that way. You did not make me feel that way. You did not make.
Yeah, it wasn't a plan I made that, okay, if I should leave, that will be the end to the relationship. But I am a realist as well. And I know that long distance relationships
might not work.
Yeah, have this very bad habit of failing.
Okay, so that's where the seeking for guidance came along.
You know, a lot of people, there are people who, before they make a major decision in their lives, they seek for spiritual direction.
So that was what you did.
We are all of us spiritual beings. Okay, some of us are more connected to their spiritual side than others. What I'm trying to say is, it has nothing to do with how I valued you. I needed that confirmation. When I asked for the sign, I wanted the sign to be positive. I hoped
for it to be positive.
For it to be a positive sign.
So I think
now the question you could ask is, what if the sign I received was negative?
Yeah, but I don't want to ask that question because you believe that soulmates are real. Okay, they exist.
I believe that people have types. I believe that every individual has his own path to walk. I believe that when you are connected to a higher realm of reality, that affects your entire reality.
Okay. Well,
now, my experience may not be somebody else's experience.
Of course.
And I wasn't asking for a sign based on the fact that you would be the only soulmate I'll ever have in my life. But you are that at the moment.
Okay.
Like my type at the moment. Let me make this clear and finish. My type at the moment, okay? And I wanted to know if this is the right place to be.
Now, you, for someone who believes in soulmate, what are the signs? How should one know that this person is their soulmate?
Because it sounds to me like you're interrogating me now.
I'm not interrogating you, because if you for me are reading up on this, on how you should know that someone is your soulmate, and comparing it to us and how we met, it wasn't really that.
It wasn't the soulmate event.
Like, this person is you gave me butterflies.
That's nice to know.
And I do believe I give you.
I'm not a butterfly type of guy.
Hold on, no. It might not be butterflies, but you might have
a feeling.
Take this to me.
I have a feeling you really want to cash out on this moment and milk it for.
But why do you feel like I need to cash out on something that should come to me easily? You should give this to me, like give it to me like this. But you want me to actually like poke and poke and poke, like I'm trying to cash out. What am I cashing out on, please?
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
So how you know a soulmate, right?
Settle this one quickly and then move to the question.
Okay, what should I settle?
Settle the cashing out.
It's not just about you, okay? It's a female trait.
Don't settle again. Go to the soulmate one, because I think you're about to stretch me to like now.
I still feel like the soulmate thing is a stretch. Okay, I believe more in people having types. How do you recognize your type? Okay, you are drawn to your type. When they say, this girl is my type, this man is my type, they possess qualities that draw you to them.
Qualities that complement your attributes?
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Now, it doesn't mean that you will not be attracted to other people outside your type. But every time you are in a relationship with your type, it feels like something special. You feel at home. Now, people may call it being with the one. Some may call it being with your soulmate. But I choose to call it type. especially moving away from the soulmate idea, because it creates this force.
Destined to be.
Yeah, false idea of destiny. Your destiny being locked to a single individual, which is a preposterous idea. So I believe more in people having types. And when you have your type, when you meet your type, you can feel the ignition of the spark. But you do not believe in soulmates, right?
I don't.
So how does an individual become sure they have met someone that they should consider seriously?
Well, I believe in chemistry. I believe in chemistry. I believe chemistry has nothing to do with someone being your soulmate. Okay, you can have chemistry with anyone. It doesn't have
to be special.
Yeah. But once that is there, for me, and you now put in conscious, intentional efforts, you can now get to a place, like we have gotten to a place where we feel like we are made for each other. Like you were made for me.
How about
kind of feeling? It did not come because it's destined. It came because we walked towards it.
When you walk on a relationship, you might force it to exist. You could force your relationship to exist where it shouldn't.
There are relationships where I think in this case it's more of it happening naturally. Like when you're sowing the seed, it's being watered. So in a way, I think the universe actually playing its role by helping you water the relationship. Because I've seen people who they've made countless sacrifices for their relationship. They have done numerous things to actually, for their relationship to work out, and it doesn't work out. Yes, sometimes I do contribute that to the fact that you're not with someone who is willing to make something work for you. In other words, you're not with your person. Yeah. So I could see how that could actually, be like the universe needs to, in a way, play its role for your role to actually be effective.
Let me share an analogy with you.
Okay.
When they say that this fits you like a glove.
Yes.
Now, consider someone you are in a relationship, a glove, and you, the hand. Now, you love the material, the fabric.
Yes.
That the glove is made of. You love the feel. You love how the design of the glove.
Yeah.
You put your hand in the glove.
Yeah.
But the fingers are too big. And then you realize that this is the kind of glove I want. This is all I need in a glove. But it's a bit too large for me, too loose for me. And you decide to make some adjustments until it fits perfectly.
You shape it to fit you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're talking about when soulmates are like that.
Yeah.
And then you have to be the one to make
having
adjustments
a soulmate,
by making it
someone
work.
Being your soulmate doesn't mean that automatically it's going to work out.
Okay, I get that.
So you have to make a conscious decision to work it out.
I do see, because if you ask me, I think if you hadn't come down here, there wouldn't be a situation for us to build the friendship we built that actually transcended to relationship that then got us to where we are today, because it was a gradual process. So while I give it up for the effort and the work and the commitment that were made to the relationship to actually, develop it to where it is right now, that we feel a certain way about it, which is great certain way, I should also give it up to the universe that actually brought you to the right place at the right time.
Because this wasn't the place I wanted to go.
Yes, it wasn't.
This is Besty and Smoke podcast.
Talking the BS.
So what this means is that hard work and to some extent destiny, I'd rather say the universe, okay, they work together to shape our realities.
Yes.
So you have to put in the work, just like you said.
You have to know that whether destiny presents or universe presents, you have to lay solid foundation.
That's right. Relationships require work. Okay.
So when it works out,
and you shouldn't stay put waiting for that someone to happen on you. I'm a strong believer of people activating
doing
events in their lives.
You move the
rather
piece.
Than believe in
like the chess, you move
that,
the piece.
Yeah, that some white bearded old man in the cloud.
It says heaven helps those who help themselves.
That's right. So you have to work hard at it. No relationship is the same.
No.
Sometimes people tend to compare what they have to what's happening outside.
And the thing that is, I'm a romantic person. I romanticize things. I like, the big, but I have to be realistic. Okay. Like if you watch movies, they just give you 1 hour of a whole life
or fantasy.
A fantasy. That doesn't apply
and
to
we
real
buy we buy into that.
That doesn't apply to real life. Yes, you will have your all moment. Yes, you have your, that beautiful butterflies, moment. You have your, he is my, the way I am your, But,
all right. So
but just make sure to do your part.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
There's no relationship, whether it's dating or marriage, that's made in heaven. You have to find your paradise here on earth by doing the right deeds by the one that you are with.
Absolutely. Amen. So please endeavor to subscribe, whether you're joining via YouTube or Spotify.
Please share with us what you think. Or if you have any ideas as to what you might want us to touch on, please do not hesitate. Remember that you can follow us on social media. Okay, all social media platforms. The handle is at BS Podcast NG. One word, at BSPODCASTNG. BS Podcast. All right. Find us on Spotify. That's Besty and Smoke Podcast. On YouTube, Besty and Smoke Podcast, and other platforms as well. And last word, so we can bounce.
If the universe gives you an opportunity, ride on it.
But
if you miss out on that, be open
to finding a second chance. That's right. Until the next time we hit you up, please endeavor to not be a stranger. We'll see you again.
Ciao.
This is Besty and Smoke.